It's the end of the millennium, and we're going to party like it's 1999. What could possibly go wrong? If you answered all technology becoming self-aware and going on a Control-Alt-Delete spree of the human race, you'd be right. It's up to a small group of 90s cliched misfits to overthrow the Borg. In this stoner parody of nostalgia in Y2K. Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. That's right, new year, new me, new all of us. So we're going to go back and have a look at a film that was released last year, Y2K, directed by Kyle Mooney, known for his comedic acting with a 9-year run on SNL, and this film being his feature film directorial debut. He even makes a cheeky cameo in the film himself, playing easily the funniest character. It's December 31st, 1999, and we meet our protagonist Eli and his best friend Danny. They are the high school losers and are made fun by everyone in their school. And wouldn't you know it, Eli has a huge mungus crush on the school cool girl, Laura, played by Rachel Zegler. They discover that there's an end of the millennium party happening at some douchebag's house, and everyone is attending, including Laura, who is recently single. With the help of Danny, Eli nuts up, takes some shots, and the pair of them crash the party in hopes to wash away their loser status as they drunkenly bring on the new millennium, and Eli having hopes of kissing his crush. Eli and Danny rock up to the party out of Can't Hardly Wait and are introduced to the cliched world of 1999. We see groups of factions at the party that you would expect. You know, pop boy band douchebags, the new metal crew, the ravers, even the ska punk fans. Yeah, ska punk was actually a thing in the late 90s for about 2 weeks. Out of nowhere, Danny becomes super popular at the party for reasons, and Eli seems to keep lucking out with Laura. Then the countdown happens, the new millennium clicks over, and they welcome in the year 2000, and everything is totally fine. But wouldn't you know it, a mutilated body shows up at the party, and it's not long before the partygoers realise that all the electronical goods have become self-aware, and they begin to go on a deletion spree of all meat sacks. Then it's a fight for survival, so Bill from It, Fire Fist from Deadpool 2, and Snow Brown all try and flee. Then we get some interesting kills as the machines begin to attack, bloody good gore galore. And just when we start to get into the swing of things and begin to have some fun, the film decides to slow down as our gang of 90s cliched misfits begin to look for a safe haven. The middle section of this film really dragged. That is until about the halfway mark, where we learn that Laura is a tech genius. She hacks the system and conveniently learns the machine's plans. Turns out their whole plan is exactly what Bill Gates wants to do to us all. Turn us all into the Borg. And it's going to take a USB MacGuffin to potentially save the day. This film is oozing with 90s nostalgia. And I'd be lying if I didn't find this very entertaining, as that era was my teen years. There's some cameos here and there with some real deep cuts. Eli's mum being played by 90s sweetheart Alicia Silverstone, sick needle drops from music of the time, and appearances from AOL, dial-up internet, Tybo, and Nintendo 64, amongst others. Even our lead Eli has that haircut where it's sort of parted to the side, or in the middle if you will, that was very popular at the time. Look, in my defense, it was the 90s. There's some really awesome creative body horror kills, but unfortunately they're far and few between. The film is, however, I will be honest, quite funny at times and did provoke a laugh out loud from me here and there. And none of the characters in this film are safe from a surprise death. Everyone is on the chopping block. All the supporting roles are pretty funny too, or at least very self-aware. However, I will say that our lead Eli, played by Jaden Martell, is a bit of a wet blanket and a bit bland. The bionic dystopian machine monster effects are all practical and quite good. They did, however, remind me heavily of the creatures from the film Virus, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I remember the whole Y2K debacle. As aforementioned, it was my teen years. And I remember everyone was up in arms and not quite sure if we were going to be thrust into the Stone Age at midnight as all the computers clicked over from 99 to 00. Of course, that didn't end up happening, and we became a stronger human race after the fact. The internet went on to connect us all as a human race with a swift click of a comment button. We all saw past our differences, coming together regardless of politics, race or religion, and connected all of us strangers around the globe in a blanket of positivity. Ultimately, this film had a pretty strong start, a very slow, mundane middle, and a stoner parody batshit crazy ending. And in saying that, this is a stoner comedy, much like Idle Hands, I suppose, that is somewhat of a parody poking fun at the absurdity of the 90s. And for those of you who lived it, you will know those deep cuts. Not a bad movie, I will say, good for some cheeky nostalgia fun. It's just that middle part of the film that really dragged it down for me. Like, the film is not fantastic, it's not great, but it's a good little walk down memory lane. Anyway, guys, I'm not cheeky little review of Y2K. Write down below if you've seen it. What are your thoughts on it? But more importantly, what is your favourite technology self-aware thriller? And of course, if you made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up because your love and support keeps me going, because I just love movies and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because I give it an episode weekly. And I'll see you back here next week for the next review, but until then, stay spooky, kids.